I would think.
Right, but
a lot of people have been hating on
Penn State. You're going to get a lot of fucking hate about that just because it's going to be like, oh, it's just the Big Ten against the fucking SEC in the suit.
Clemson would waste any of these teams. They beat Alabama 44-16.
You motherfuckers almost lost to fucking UNC. I don't want to hear about it.
Like when I hear people make the argument that Clemson's won 24 straight. They're the defending national champions. Okay, that's cute. They lost an entire fucking defense, and their defense is pretty shit right now.
Yeah, defending champions, I feel like doesn't really garner anything, and it shouldn't in college football. The landscape changes so much, and yes, there are certain teams that seem to be able to do it over and over again, but they still change. Even the top five, the final championship game always seems to be a different matchup. So saying that they're the reigning champions, I feel like is just a crappy argument.
It is. The reigning champion argument is good for one thing: preseason rankings.
Yes.
If you won the last national championship, or if you won the last Super Bowl, or if you won the last whatever, going into the offseason, it is expected, in my opinion, for you to be the favorite to win the same event the next year.
I mean, you should be at the very least, expected to defend your title.
Exactly. Just like after the World Series, when I saw that the Nationals, the Nationals have worse odds at winning the World Series than the fucking Oakland A's do. The A's have better odds in Vegas to win the World Series than the Nationals.
That's awesome.
The day after the Nationals won the World Series, those odds came out.
That's fantastic.
I think it's because they're expecting the A's to make a huge push for Steven Strasburg.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could get that.
But if you're the defending champ, you probably, and I hate preseason polls anyways, but you've earned the right to be the number one going into the next season.
I think most people could safely say that they hate preseason polls. Preseason polls are stupid. It's like, oh, this is what I think, and fuck off. Like,
I prefer.
You can't predict any of this. I mean, you can go and look at it based on recruiting class. You can go and look at it based on fucking schedule. You can do whatever you want to do. But if you're telling me you know how this is going to shake out, and this is the way you predicted this based on some shit that you've looked at through paper, fuck off. Tell a different story.
When the coaches in conferences vote for who they think is going to finish where in the conferences, I take that a lot more seriously than I do a preseason top 25.
Oh, definitely, because the coaches know the coaches are playing. They know the teams that are in this league. I'm way more likely to take the opinion of a coach who coaches in that fucking league than I am to take the opinion of fucking Ted who gives a fuck sitting at his desk in fucking Ohio.
You know what though? Like something that blows my mind.
Ted who gives a fuck is an honorable man.
No.
He might be. And his mother, Dorothy Mantooth, is a real classy lady.
You're mixing Ted doesn't give a fuck with Billy Go Fuck Yourself, and he's in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that turd moved.
He's the cheese farmer.
Yeah.
But anyways,
but I digress.
You can't make arguments about, well, they have this player, so they're going to be great, because Texas couldn't do shit with Shane Buechele. He's fucking lighting it up with SMU. And don't even say they're playing worse opponents. The fucking American Athletic Conference plays way better defense than the Big 12 does.
Definitely. 100%. They actually play defense. That's all you need to fucking know to know that it's better.
Yeah. So, and this whole Power 5 bullshit, again.
How did we end up here?
Because we're talking about preseason rankings.
Oh.
The whole Power 5 bullshit, I completely disagree with using the term Power 5 when the ACC has worse conference ranking than the Mountain West and the American Athletic. So
now, with all these teams playing each other, one thing I find interesting is a Pac-12 team might make it, depending on the winner of Oregon and Utah. Because if certain things shake out, teams can get bounced off of there. With them sitting at 7 and 8, is that what their location is?
yeah.
They can move up because of other people's misfortune.
But I have a hard time. Honestly, I have a hard time seeing anyone other than the 4 that are in and Clemson being in the playoff. Because if the only loss that Penn State has is to Ohio State, or Ohio State has is to Penn State, how do they not get in? Same with if the only loss Alabama has is to LSU, or LSU has is to Alabama.
Wouldn't LSU have to play Alabama in the SEC championship?
No, they're both in the West.
They're both in the West?
Yeah. So
I did not realize that.
yeah, so if that's the only loss that those teams have, how can you not say that they or Clemson deserve it ahead of Georgia, ahead of Oregon or Utah, ahead of Oklahoma, and certainly ahead of Florida? If it's not the 4 that are in now, you take out either Alabama or Penn State, and it's Clemson. That's my opinion.
I mean, yeah, it will be a tough road. I'm just saying that it's not impossible. I mean, I could totally see a way where somehow that shit shakes down like that.
Yeah. So, anyways, the current top 6 are Georgia, Clemson, Penn State at 4, Alabama at 3, LSU at 2, Oklahoma. Fuck me. Ohio State at 1. It's been a long fucking week, guys, and it's only Wednesday.
Oh, it'll be all right.
It'll be all right. So some of the concerns that people have had that I agree with is, where are these rankings coming from? Because it looks like they're looking at 3 different things. 1, strength of schedule. 2, record and on paper. And 3, the eye test. It looks like with 1 and 2, they're using the eye test. With 3 and 4, what are they using? For Penn State, it looks like eye test, for Ohio State and LSU, it's strength of record and strength of schedule.
Okay. I also want to say that that's a lot. I think they check all 3 boxes, and that's why they're 1 and 2. That, to me, is just the way that... Because if you watch the games, like, what LSU and Ohio State are doing right now is nothing short of dominance. They are dominating teams. And in extremely convincing fashions, too. And I think so that passes the eye test, but I also think... I mean, people will bitch and complain that, no, they haven't played anybody, but... Listen,
who haven't? What do you? Yeah, I hate when people make the argument. Oh, they haven't played anybody. Well, first of all, they can only play who's in their conference. All right, so get the fuck out of here with that. They played Cincinnati, who, oh by the way, the only loss is to Ohio State. All right, they beat Wisconsin, who has quite possibly, one of the 3 finalists for the Heisman, and a team that literally did not give up a fucking touchdown until the 4th week of the season.
Uh-huh.
All right. So for people to discredit the Wisconsin team, it's just fucking garbage. Do you know why that is? Go back 3 years ago. Who won the national championship 3 years ago? Fucking Clemson.
Uh-huh.
Who did Syracuse beat in the fucking Carrier Dome
Clemson.
that season? Clemson. Syracuse had 3 wins when they beat Clemson. Why is that okay? But Illinois beating Wisconsin isn't. Which brings us roundabout. Why is Penn State ahead of Clemson? Because Clemson hasn't played anybody, but Alabama is ahead of Penn State when Alabama hasn't played anybody. And people have been saying, I've been reading Twitter, and people are just fucking stupid, that Penn State hasn't played anybody either. Except they beat Iowa.
Description of Twitter in general.
What was that?
I said give a more apt description of Twitter in general.
Twitter is just fucking...
It's filled with morons.
as entertaining as it is.
To hear people say that Penn State hasn't played anybody, okay, they didn't beat, two teams in the top 25 currently, and then, I don't know, when they played Michigan State was like the number 4 defense in the fucking country, but whatever.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Oh, and then one of the teams that Penn State beat the shit out of a team in the top 10 in Notre Dame. Like, so what is your fucking game here? You're trying to say that they haven't played anybody? And then also with the Clemson argument, now this is just me getting fucking heated. By the way, I think Clemson should have been ranked ahead of Penn State, but it's not my decision to make.
Well, you were saying earlier is the eye test and that whole thing. Like, if that was the case, if they're basing it off that criteria, then the eye test should have been what they had attributed for Alabama and for Clemson. You can't say either of their strength of schedules, and you can't really differentiate their wins. So why is Penn State in between them? Either put Penn State in front of both of them or behind both of them.
I think until next week, after Penn State beats Minnesota, I think Penn State should be behind Clemson. I think the 4 should be Ohio State, LSU, Alabama, Clemson. I don't know which order specifically.
I mean, that's fine with me. To be honest with you, I mean, we're already going to have to play Penn State, and out of any of them, give me fucking Clemson. I don't think Lawrence wants to see anything of Chase Young.
I completely agree. There are a few quarterbacks.
And that defense is not going... If Fields and J.K. Dobbins get out there, that defense is not going to be having a good day.
No.
Because Ohio State sometimes acts sluggish, but they can put points up in a fucking hurry.
I think LSU and Ohio State would be a good matchup because Joe Burrow is fucking strong and he can get the ball out real fucking fast.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is a quality quarterback. I was kind of upset when he went to LSU, but I mean, in the same sense, I get it. Like, you probably weren't going to get the playing time and the notoriety had you had stayed.
Right.
So it makes sense. I enjoy the fact that a guy who was an Ohio State recruit decided, I'm going to go to LSU and I'm going to make them fucking number 2 team in the country.
Right. I think Tua would be okay against Ohio State because he can move the pocket and extend plays with his legs. Same with it to a lesser degree. But I think Sean Clifford is going to do that for Penn State. I think he's going to get out of the pocket a lot, not even give Chase Young a chance to chase him down. He's going to make the opposite DN beat him. So
they're going to have to do that. Chase Young at this point, if teams aren't doubling or fucking changing their game plan for him, then your fucking quarterback deserves to get walloped because you hung him out to dry.
Yeah, and the one thing about Chase Young, like anyone that has like a dominant defensive end, I've never seen anything like Chase Young in college football. A lot of times, a thing you can do to nullify a defensive end is to run a lot of screens to their side, draw them in, and then just lob it over them. You can't do that with Chase Young. He's a fucking predator.
No, he'll jump, swat shit down all the time. It's not the kind of person you want to fucking...
You're going to have to do quick passes, run the ball up the middle, and don't let him get near your quarterback. Make the quarterback leave the pocket.
After that, close your eyes and hope for the best.
Yeah. If you can get to the second level of Ohio State, they're much more beatable than if you're relying on running at Chase Young.
No, absolutely. But the thing is, what allows Chase Young that freedom in that time to be able to get there a lot of times...
It's because the corners...
The corners are really good.
No one gets open.
The corners are very good at locking that. Now, the weakness, which is unusual for Ohio State, kind of lies in their linebacking core.
You have to have the tight end over the middle. That's where Penn State can exploit a weakness that I don't think LSU or Alabama can.
Given the fact that Penn State can do that, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of safety over the top help on whoever the tight end is.
Yeah.
So to take away that from Penn State,
to be honest, you might just instead have a corner cover Freiermuth. Because
I wouldn't be surprised if they do that because Freiermuth is one of your better players.
Other than KJ Hamler, you don't have anyone that can like Noah Kane is a decent running back, you're going to need his big body to block Chase Young.
Well, yeah, you're going to need him to at least clip him and